Disclaimer.
Guys who went to the backroom in a strip club. What really happens back there? At the end, an interesting food glitch, don't miss it, and this video will make your day. Here are the stories from Reddit. My buddy got a handjob in the back and he came out super stoked about it. He's like, yeah, I busted a nut all over her hand. Not even 30 seconds later, the same stripper comes out and comes up to me and asks me to go back there and starts running her hand through my hair all playfully. My buddy could not stop laughing the rest of the night. He's like, she rubbed your hair with the same hand I just busted my nut in. 0 out of 10 experience, lol. Your buddy probably got jerked by the same hand that rubbed another dude out mere minutes or hours earlier too, lol. The true answer. A man goes into a small restaurant and sees a menu on the wall listing the following: hamburger, $2. Cheeseburger, $3. Handjob, $20. Behind the counter is the only apparent employee, a beautiful, young waitress. The man goes up to the bar and stammers, Are you the person who gives gulps, handjobs? The waitress breaks into a wry smile and purrs, yes I am. The man hands her a bottle of Purell and says, then use some of this please. I'd like a cheeseburger. This reminds me of a story my papa told me about when he was in the service. He was at a bar in France with 3 of his army buddies and they were paying various women to do various things for them. One dude went up with a redhead and 10 minutes later came back down grinning. The guys knew he'd gotten a BJ. Well, except the annoying guy who always started fights due to his little man complex, papa's words. He also picked up the redhead, but he only made out with her. He came back down with her lipstick smeared all over his mouth and was bragging cause he didn't have to pay, he claimed. He was getting more and more obnoxious about it, like he was too good to be there. So the guy who went up with her first dropped his pants and asked if his dick tasted good cause hey, they match. His dick had her lipstick also smeared all over it. Little dude went bats hit while they all laughed about it. Bunch of us went to Vegas for a stag, went to a topless club or some shit. Someone in our group was enticed into the back room, and they kept teasing him to spend more and more money, sort of alluding that it would lead to something sexual. But nothing happened. After a while, when he got frustrated at the lack of sexual contact, they threw him out. It cost him $1,200. 15 years ago, I was in a strip club on Times Square. One of the dancers tried to talk me into going to the private room. I asked her what happens in the private room. Her response was a suggestive "oh, you know," followed by a smile. I asked how much. She said $500 and that I needed to go talk to some guy beforehand. Noped out of that one and hit the Olive Garden. Smart, strips clubs don't offer free breadsticks anymore. I had a stripper tell me that for $40 she would let me smell her pussy. I was a little offended that I looked like the dude that would pay for that sort of thing, so I told her I could already smell it from here, and that's when the lap dance ended rather abruptly. Back in the 80s I was stationed in Hawaii. The prostitutes openly walked the streets in Waikiki and would ask if you want a date. I told one once that she couldn't afford me. Then I got hit by her purse and had a few choice words said to me. Did she come at you for the $40? Me and 2 of my buddies went in there completely hammered, and one of my friends, while pissing in the urinal, says, man, I could really use some coke right now, and out of nowhere comes a voice from a toilet stall, y'all want some coke? Then my friend purchased some cocaine after the dude was done taking a shit. Edit, just realized it says backroom and not bathroom. Whoops. Nah mate, your story is still 100% relevant. I promise yours is both similar and relevant. GG. Depends on what type of place it is. From private lap dances all the way up to sex acts. One of my aunts owns a strip/exotic club, and when I was younger, she would take me there while it wasn't open to get my haircut by one of the dancers who was working her way through beauty school. It was a clean and well taken care of place without erotic art, so when it wasn't operating, there wasn't anything unseemly for a little kid. Their backrooms were called the Emerald, the Sapphire, and the Diamond rooms. I asked her if those were for private birthday parties like the rooms at a local skating rink. And she said sure. And then I asked if it was also for girls to blow on penises, and she called my mom. I am not taking an answer that doesn't include the word Pokemon if someone named the rooms like that. Stop, my penis can only get so erect. A while ago in Rhode Island of all places they were notorious for all sorts of wild times in the backrooms. Business trip. She goes for a $100 you can fuck my ass. Before I knew it, she pulled down my shorts, slipped a condom on and sat on my dick and rode me till I came, I in her ass, which took about 2 minutes, with condom on. My mind was blown for about a week. Reckless. But incredible. Reddit, the penthouse forum of the 2020s. Dear Reddit. I never thought it would happen to me. There I was. Barbecue sauce on my titties? So I was in RI after a bad date, went to go get a rub and tug. So long story short, I get my dick sucked, and after fucking I asked about the massage and I was told this is a whorehouse, if you want a massage you got to massage envy. I left with a smile and sore back. This is not a whorehouse, it's a whore home. Ugh, don't go to massage envy. Their whole thing, at least around here, is employing people who are still in school or haven't got their massage license yet, because a person can still be an apprentice massage therapist, so you're allowed to work under the scope of someone else's license, and can be paid for doing so. Even though everyone just goes to school nowadays, and a massage school usually can't let you make a profit from your clinical hours, for whatever reason. So you get these exhausted, overworked massage students who are breaking their school's code of conduct to moonlight at massage envy because they've got to pay the bills, even though they're only 2 classes into learning deep tissue and have no idea what to do with a neck. And massage envy will happily exploit them, because they don't have a lot of options and don't know how they ought to be treated in the workplace yet, or how to stand up for themselves and demand it. Chain spas are like the McDonald's of massage. They've got a rotating door of staff, too. I'm job hunting right now and Indeed keeps dumping massage envy jobs with slightly different descriptions into my inbox. They take up half the goddamn list of massage therapy jobs available in this city. Rhode Island used to have decriminalized sex work with some specific restrictions, no streetwalkers, no brothels, so while some details seem suspect, I'm not surprised about the state it happened in. My understanding was this was on accident too. Like they were trying to add some extra penalties for street prostitution but replaced the old law entirely, so then there wasn't any law against off-street prostitution. Before you know it, the mob has massage parlors all over and it became a hotspot for sex tourism. That is hilarious and pretty much a perfect encapsulation the state-level legislative process. Ha! Here in the great state of RI that was legal until about 5 years ago. Definitely still happens and no one has ever gotten busted for it, but that did change the laws. I think the important thing here is that there is the suggestion of sex acts. 70% of that 300 private lap dance money goes to the house. If you want to bang a stripper, tell her to call you after work to do some coke and see what happens. That being said, many strippers are just normal human beings going to work, gotta learn the nuance if you want to tell the difference. Can confirm. Lived with a dude for a while that always had some sort of freelancer in his bedroom every few weeks. I'm not a strip club kinda guy, so I never got to see him work, but I think he read like a nice guy that could be taken advantage of. Especially when drinking. He just thought he was banging strippers and was having fun. You can't fault either party really. Strip clubs seem like an ideal place for people with codependence and addiction issues. Sort of like getting drunk with people you met at AA. We worked on our Spanish presentation. I was partnered up in college with this cute redhead who was very smart and a good student, but our work schedules didn't match up for us to do our final work on our end-of-term project. She suggested I meet her at work. I knew she worked some kind of midnight shift job, but not that she was a stripper at an upscale club in Philly. We banged out our PowerPoint slides while other lovely ladies got dressed and undressed. Some of the Spanish-speaking natives even proofread our work. It was surprisingly normal. But there was a super sketch-looking guy with a handgun back there the whole time and I got pat down. I got a private dance from a stripper once and was so off my head on drugs I made her sit in the seat while I stood, freestyle rapped and gesticulated for 2 songs then left. Biggest waste of money ever and she wasn't even impressed. Ha, this is my favorite story here, thanks for the laugh. I used to work clubs in AUS, so totally tame compared to other countries. 2 young guys booked a friend and we spent ages hanging out. Turned out one guy thought he could rap, so let him do his thing. He was proud of his efforts till my friend rapped back and left them absolutely stunned and sheepish. She's pretty great at it and they weren't expecting that. Hands down still one of my best memories and nights doing the job. Well, getting destroyed by a stripper is a fantasy of many men. Last time I went into a backroom in a strip club, I got a private lap dance and breast milk squirted on my face and in my mouth by a lactating stripper MILF. I could have done without the milk, but it was good fun anyhow. Hey, that milk has lots of vitamins in it and boosted your immune system. You should tip big. When I tried breast milk just to see what it tasted like, I was surprised that it tasted like a milder version of cereal milk. It actually tasted good, lol. Compared to cow's milk, human breast milk is basically just a slightly richer whole milk. Source: drank my own. Right from the source's mouth to the source's mouth, straight from the source. Infinite food glitch. You can also watch other videos by going to the channel. I will be pleased if you like them.